Grand rising to all of my kings and queens doing tremendous things. I am Altitude representing Building Never Minds, the hip hop workshop, and I'm renovating minds one rhyme at a time. And today I got a very special guest on the show on this episode of Soundcheck. My friend for how many years now? How long have we known each other?
Thanks. So we've known each other since 2014.
2014.
9 years, man.
9 years. So going on the decade.
Yeah.
My homie Victor, but he also goes by Guyceritops. Talk about yourself a little bit. Let people know what's going on.
Peace to all my gods and goddesses. Hope all is well all around the world, all rounds of the world. Well, yeah, as he said, as my brother said, I'm Guyceritops. Been in the Dallas scene for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Kind of was one of those like local bugs within like Dallas Metroplex area, but then I kind of got real serious about like the hip hop diaspora that I really wanted to get into, as every artist probably has. They had to start somewhere, you know, coming from like open mics in university / school to going walking to friends' houses to now to where it's a point where it's like, you know, one of the most known unknowns, and so, you know, and only going up from here, you know what I mean? Writing styles.
Yeah. So as far as your writing style, like, cause you always had a unique flow to me. It's just that rhythm, that flow, that pattern. Like, what makes you like sit down and write some of the things that you do? Like, as far as the topics, and then how do you write? Do you write in order? Do you write song by song? Like, chorus, hook? How do you write?
Yeah. So when I pick it, so like usually what I do. And I guess I can use this as an example, like is this the best example I can give?
Right.
Prime example, when I made Extraordinary, which took like a few years to make, that was my first project. I released it first on SoundCloud in November of 2019. Then during the pandemic, where I was like, all right, well now people can just sit at home and actually pay attention to things and listen. Right. I released it again on April of 2020. And what I did, like this was like different experience. I feel like with writing styles, like, you know, Lauryn Hill's a great example. It's like, you know, some people don't want to make albums again because it's like, you didn't experience life. You didn't go through much stuff.
Right.
Not to say bad experiences do make great albums, good experiences make great albums too. But it's like, hey, maybe these things can happen. Once these things happen, I can write about it. Or some people, it's like, man, this isn't a theme now. We're just going bar for bar and just giving people, topping the last skill set we had last time and letting people know we still got it.
Okay.
But if you're creating art and stuff like that, it may take a while. Versus you being like, oh, going in and try to improve, then okay, you got 2-3 weeks.
Right.
I know people who've made albums 3 weeks. I know people who made albums in like 2 days. Right. I know people who took 4 years to do it.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. It's like, I guess it depends on what's speaking to you at the time. Because like, even if you go to a song structure, I've been in a position where it's like the song's gonna get done. Yeah. But I'll do, let's say I have a song where it even Live That Way that I just put out. You know, go stream that on Spotify, by the way. But Live That Way, when I put that out, I literally wrote that song in I don't even think it was 20 minutes. As soon as I heard the beat, I just knew like, oh, this is it. And just started freestyle writing and, you know, structured everything. It took about 20 minutes. I recorded it the same day, edited it the next day. So you got to think like, if I would have edited it in the same day, if we're not talking about editing, I heard the beat, wrote the song, and recorded it in the span of maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
But then I've also been in a position where it's like I'll hear a beat, oh, like I can't wait to start writing this, and then I just won't touch it. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't resonate with me. It's like I don't want to force it either. So sometimes I've been in a position where I have a song that I'm supposed to do. I have a song that I'm supposed to do with you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how long have you been waiting on this verse?
It's fun though.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
And that's why I ain't tripping, because it's like I've been in that position too. Because it's like
he texted me. He was like, "Hey, so you still want to be up?" I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah. It was more so like, okay, you're perfect. You're good.
Right.
What I can do, just so the fact that, because I'll change my mind about certain things too. Like writing styles, it's like when I have a song, it's like, okay, this comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
I've had situations where I'll hear something you have a beat, have that instrumental made by either someone that would graced you enough to get it, or you found it yourself. You listening to that thing from the morning till the sun goes down. I remember one time I was like off of work or whatever, and there's certain instrumentals I was trying to find. It's nothing like writing something by your window and like watching the sun go down as you do it, and then come back the next morning like, oh snap, I can't wait to pick this back up. It's kind of like one of those, oh, we've all been those children that got the one thing we wanted on Christmas. It was like, oh, this is the game I wanted on Christmas. As soon as we're done eating this, I'm gonna crack this thing up and see how far I can get. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get, how far can I get? How far can I get until I gotta go to bed and then do the same thing the next morning? That's how it is for me. Some things that came naturally, and you don't exactly how you said, you don't want to force it. It's like, ooh. And when I feel that feeling where I feel like it's not coming naturally, I'll stop for a minute, come back, and then listen to it again. Sometimes I've even had situations where I just write something first, and then come in with the instrumental, see if this fits in, and change it first. Because some people, we're gonna hear this first, and then we're gonna go ahead and write what we're doing while we're hearing it. I sometimes do it at in the opposite way, just to be like, to see like how I can freeform this. Because you always want to, when you're writing something, you always want to feel like someone wrote this intentional. Like you can be intentional with writing things, and sometimes, unfortunately, you've had situations where people, like, I'll take for example, movie soundtracks. Soundtracks is like, oh, we want to go on the theme of this movie. So we have lyrics that are catered to the theme of this movie. Like, oh, there's going to be a driving reference if we're talking Fast and Furious. There's going to be swinging a baseball if we're talking about like Jackie Robinson documentary or something like that. So sometimes you got to be like, oh, I was forced to do this, get a quick bag, you know what I'm saying, no problem. So I did it. And you can tell that it was like, yes, but they weren't there. Yeah. And then you can tell when people were like, I wrote this intentionally. It's gonna be my hill I die on when it comes to these topics or things of that nature.
So you know what I do is that I write weird. I write in a couple of strange ways. So like, and you can tell me if you do this too. So sometimes I'll write down the subject matter of what I want to talk about. So let's say I may not know how to structure it yet, like from the bar 1 all the way to bar 16 to 24, however long the verse is. So I'll just write down, I want to talk about this. Let's say, for example, like your glasses or your phone right here. Like let's say in this verse, I want to mention this phone, these glasses, this water bottle. I want to talk about those 3 things. But I don't know how I'm gonna word it yet. So I'll just write what I want to talk about, and it keeps me on track.
That's true.
Or if I have everything down, like I know exactly what I want to talk about, but I'll write backwards. So I know how I want to end the song, like how I want the impacting last word or last bar to be. So I'll write the last verse first, and then write verse 2, verse 1. Because to me, I feel like, you can start off strong and end weak, but I'd rather start off slow and end impactful. So I'll write the last verse first. So, it's almost like a battle rap tactic, like how people try to save their best round for the 3rd round. But that's kind of like how I like to do with verses too. It's like I try to make sure that the last thing I say is like, ooh, but you don't want to negate the rest of the song either. Because you want every bar bar, like, you know, every effing bar, like, you know, shouts out to Geechee, you know. But you want everything that you say to be impactful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you write so many bars, you make so many songs. It's like, can every song be that way? Like, can every song be a Kendrick song, a Cole song, or like just impactful? Every line, every word, you know, like Pac or something like that. Like, that is so hard to do. I don't think people realize how hard writing music actually is.
Get yourself ready for the lines. Get yourself everything. Experience like, oh, someone told me maybe I need to make my face do something as far as like if I'm crying or if I'm sad, maybe I need to have face structure, learning face structures, learning lines, learning voice inflections to make something sound convincing to somebody.
Learning theater.
And you get a superpower app, you get an unlocked kind of superpower / special move that you couldn't use before.
Right.
I love when rappers do that, like, oh, this person sounded like this the last album, did something new this one. Or he used the same technique, he used the same thing, but he did something else.
It's super dope when artists do that because people don't realize how much that you have to train yourself to do that. Like, that hurts. Like, when you try to change vocal inflections and, you know, like, even that thing that Kendrick does, like, with those voice changes and stuff, like, when he did, what was it? Loving You Was Complicated. Like,
exactly.
Like, that hurts. The vocal cords, the throat, the larynx. Like, that's not easy to do. I don't think people realize.
They don't understand what rappers and musicians go through to make y'all pay attention.
Literally.
Because it's like, you can do something. So much goes into it. This is beyond which we'll talk about later, beyond the album cover where it's like, hey, this album cover gets my attention. Front and back. We're in a digital age now where it's like, hey, it's not like the same as when I used to walk to Target after school. What albums are out right now?
Right.
Front and back. Oh, this looks great because look at this. I don't want to buy it. Now it's like you gotta post it on Instagram front and back in the hopes you get digital copies fine.
Yep.
But you're just okay. Instagram, front, back. Oh, I'm convinced. I'm gonna listen to this wherever the heck it is. Boom. Now, once you do that, you get to a situation where it's like, okay, we heard the album, we're cracking this thing open, we're excited, and you don't want to give people's hopes up, and because you built this big old hype around something, you want to make sure the hype, the energy matches what you did. Right. Like when I made Wizard of Oz, you've literally seen me drench my shirts in this place.
I'm about to see the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, dude.
I ain't gonna say the whole.
Yeah. So you've literally seen me like go back and sit down because I'm like, give me a second. I can't move right now. Right. And people don't know what it goes through to like do all that stuff. Like when you mentioned Kendrick, it's like, oh, one thing he did in order for like as far as like let's take Section 80 for example. Right. Section 80, it was like, okay, we have monotone. Sometimes I'm hype, but it's monotone. But not to say in a bad way. It's like we're coasting. I'm not really yelling like that. He wasn't really yelling like that.
Like that. That's the goal of that. Yeah.
We get to Good Kid, Mad City. It's monotone, but there's more. There's more to it. Right. Because your subject matter had to change because it's talking about you, like, yo, you're growing up in a dangerous environment. Right. And you want to convince people I'm in danger right now. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know what's going to happen to me when I come outside. Right. To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, we crazy inflections there. Yeah.
Sometimes monotone, but not as much.
Right.
I'm still gonna yell. I'm yelling more.
That's where it started picking up.
Then Damn came out, and it was like, ooh, anger, angst, more of that. So it's like you've taken everything you've done, like anything, all the techniques you've learned.
That was his peak.
Yeah, it's like all these moves I've learned. I want to see what else happens. Yeah. And then we get to Mr. Morale, and it's like, all right, it's. You doing just everything you can, and then in the hopes you get to like their new superhero can be like more like he did like kind of a country voice at some point. I think that's what it is. So it's like that's what I like. I like to when people when writing. So this past one, Extraordinary was like, yeah. Sometimes I'm monotone, sometimes I'm yelling. Now it's gonna be, and I have you to thank for like putting that bug in my ear as far as, hey, if you're more energetic, And I think don't get afraid of the microphone, you know what I'm saying? And the writing style just to prove to people, hey, I can up the ante, and so I'm shouting way more, and it's like, that's good, that's what I want.
Because there's been some verses that you've done where, you know, you'll shout because you think that's what the song requires, and I'm like, you know, I don't think it needs that.
Yeah, like,
sometimes, and I've done that too. I'll show you something off camera, you know, but there was a beat that I picked where I was like, ooh, this is gonna be the intro. I recorded the whole thing to it and then ended up switching it. Yeah. And so I had to re-record it because there was a beat that I felt was better suited for the intro. So basically re-recorded the same song over just because I felt something was better. And it's like, hey,
I've done that with you. I'll be like, I'm monotone. Okay, do this again and shout. Okay, I'll do it.
Yep.
Like, you know how many times I've done that before? Like, I can't even count how many times I did it. Like, what is it you?
I remember Lupe was talking about a song that I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it was The Show Goes On.
Yeah.
But it could have been, I think it was The Show Goes On. But either way, it was a song off of Lasers. I'm pretty sure it was The Show Goes On. And he said he recorded that song over 50 times.
Yeah.
Before, not like 50 takes, like, oh, this song's been done like 50 times, and now we got the final version that everyone in the world has heard. But it's like, you've recorded the same song until it's right. It's like, oh, people don't understand. Like, music is not to be played with or to be messed with. It's a delicate just flower that you have to preserve and protect, because there's something so precious about it that a lot of people, that the common ears just don't understand.
Yeah. It's like people like create. I saw the Solange interview where she was with Trevor Noah. It's like, yo, when you want to make these universes, I feel like with artists, like whether it be graphic designers, digital designers, we're literally creating, like, an artist like us, we're creating these worlds. It's like, hey, you create safe havens for people to escape to.
Right.
Hey, okay, something bad's happening, there's gonna be an earthquake, let's create something so you don't, debris not falling onto you and stuff like that. And then even for themselves, I know I do it, I wanna, like, hang. It's not to be like fictitious or vain. It's like sometimes you gotta listen to your own stuff to be like, okay, I listened to my previous, like, okay, this is great. What can I do better? And it's like, you know, if I need to escape, like, you know what? I want to, like, people create, like, yeah, you got that one album, it's like, yo, this is gonna get me through. Or I don't want to bring. Which is a double-edged sword, because sometimes people don't want to take the things with them. Right. It's like, also I think of it like,
it's like, don't abandon everything.
Because you have
take the good.
Because prime example, it's like, you know, the outside world, you want to use music as a gateway to be like, you know what, I can escape the outside world. I use it as a thing, like, as an outlet, so I ain't gotta, like, go off the rails. Or
it's a dope name, by the way.
Yeah. But sometimes people bring that world into hey, this is a way I can express an experience that happened. Like, prime example, and this isn't gonna get too emotional or whatever, losing friends due to A, B, and C. Hey, how can I put that in a song?
Right.
Or, hey, I got married, this is an amazing thing, how can I put this in a song?
Like you said, living life.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and then that song will be like, you know, hey, I may not be the most perfect person, but I don't want to do life with no one else.
Right.
That sounds like a boring thing if you just said those lines, that was it.
Right. But when you put it in the art form.
Yeah, it's like, okay, can you give me 2 to 3 verses of you explaining that awesome thing, that thing that just happened to you. You just got me, what can you, because I want to hear, like, I want to be the, you literally got to be that person to be like, okay, can I take key? I didn't go to your wedding. I didn't go to your birthday. What was it like?
Right.
Oh, I've never gone to a cookout before. Can you explain how it is? And we have to take people there.
Yeah.
We take people there in the hopes that our imagery, how we word things, can help with their imagery.
Right.
That's what being a good musician, you know? Because, and it's no disrespect to like anyone else, it's like, but the artists, like the real artists like ourselves, we take the time. It's like, you know what, we want to make sure that you guys know we're trying to take you guys to a totally different playing field, totally different place, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. That's why we push so hard, like, hey, we put all of our things into this one thing, and we hope hope in the case you will like it. But if you don't like it, okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's an investment. It's like, hey, you roll the dice in the hopes you get you hope you get snake eyes, right? But if you don't, it's like, all right, well, I put it all out there.
I like that you said it's an investment, because it definitely is. Like, with the equipment that you get, with the time that you put into it, the shows that we've done for free in order to get to the point where we can make profit off of a show. It's like, how many shows have we done for free? How many open mics? How many, so like,
say we did it. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, there's so much effort that goes into it. And then getting it to the point where it can become a business, to the point where it can be an entity, but you don't lose the identity of the art in the process.
Yeah.
If you could only collab with 3 people, they could be famous, not famous, like heard of, underground, like whoever, it doesn't matter. This is your list.
Okay.
Famous or not, this is your list. If I only had 3 features that I could use, like I get 3 and that's it.
Okay.
In life, I would collab with these 3 people, locally and on a high level.
See, Flowzilla is Flower Child. Here's the thing, Flower Child Flowzilla, she actually worked at my sister's gym for a little bit. She worked at Journey because one day I'm like on Insta and I'm like, why does this building look so familiar, like at the front desk, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, and she had a Journey Fish on, and I was like, yo, that's crazy, that's my sister's gym. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, yeah, I know you probably get this all the time. I know people are probably trying to hit you up for collabs, whatever.
Right.
Please just consider it. But you don't want to be the YouTube person. When it comes naturally, you'll know.
Right.
So I told people, like, look, time's irrelevant, because look, 1 hour to us could be 5 seconds to someone else, okay?
Facts.
Like, the Lord created time for us to, like, structure it a certain way so we can be on time for certain things, so we can enjoy certain things, whatever. But time's, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So when it happens, it's supposed to happen.
Right.
So Flowzilla, if you are listening, please, I don't think this album's gonna have any more room, but the next one, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I really have people, like homeboys in the bands that I've seen, like, oh yeah, you and Flowzilla will be dope because y'all style or whatever.
Right.
She's awesome, she's great. If you don't know who that is, check her out. Second person, Maddie Mystic. Maddie Mystic, she was in a band. It was with Evan Bournes and this girl named Rain, and it was 3 of them.
Okay.
The band name's gonna hurt me, because I remember like when I was coming into the Deep Ellum scene. When I was coming into the Deep Ellum scene, I met Evan Bournes first. I met Rain last, but I met Maddie second. Okay. And I remember seeing them perform at Drugstore Cowboy. I remember seeing them perform at the Green Elephant. Like, this was 2016, 2017. Now 2017 was like, I
Drugstore Cowboy.
Yeah, facts. Look,
it's Crowders now, right?
Yeah, that's Crowders, man. That's crazy. RBC's still there though.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, well, the restaurant part.
Yeah.
But it's Will Call now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's because it was Independent Bar and Kitchen.
Yeah. But Independent Bar and Kitchen was like across from. It was across from. And that's something else too. Now it's gonna kill me, like, cause
we got a song together. Deep, where we from. We talk about Deep Ellum, so we know these things.
Yeah. And then we actually have a song called Deep Ellum.
Yep.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
It's crazy.
Fire.
Yeah. And so I met her. She's dope, and like her, like when she did her thing, with her solo project, like her music. It's like real. It takes you to a totally different. She's like really into like using different sounds and certain instruments that we don't even think about that can use like healing vibration sounds and things of that nature, and certain ways, certain.
Is it like a Janae Aiko vibe?
Janae Aiko plus Janelle Monáe.
Okay. That tells me what I need to know.
Plus Grace Jones. Put all those 3 together.
Like all meshed up.
Grace Jones is wild side, like Boomerang, but less risque, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Because of the Boomerang movie,
So you said Flowzilla and
Maddie Mystic. And my third person is gonna be Johnny Blanford. Johnny Blanford's awesome. He was in a band. I met him in school. We met, like I said, at Richland, and I met Carter Brown through him too, and I met rest in peace Drew the Villain. I met him through that. For years, we were talking about collaborating. It never happened, but 2023, I'm like, look, I gotta do something.
It's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen. Somebody. Okay. But honorable, like I said, this shout outs to all. There's too many dope artists to name in the Dallas scene, and who I'm happy they're either getting the light.
Right.
Like, cause it's hard to mention, cause Sam Lowes, Bobby Sessions, Buffalo Black, Cure for Paranoia. Cure for Paranoia. You know what I'm saying? Dumbstar, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's more so to just like give a couple shout outs, you know, because it's like it's so many artists.
Yeah,
like we have so much talent in the city of Dallas. Like I always say, it reminds me of an old school New York crowd. You had Nas, you had Jay, all these different artists, and it's just like, dang, like Dallas feels that way.
Yeah,
like, we got so many artists where it's like, oh, I want to collab with that person. I want to do a song with this person, and I'm always of the mindset of like, you're dope, I'm dope, let's work.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we met at all. It wasn't an open mic. It was a show that Tony had set up, actually.
A coffee shop.
Yes. Yeah. It was the show. Dumb Bros. Yes.
What? Dumb Bros.
It's still there. It's still there too. But yeah, met at Dumb Bros, and
that's my first time hearing you and Court.
Yes.
I was like,
yes. And when I first heard you,
man.
The second you open your mouth and start spitting, I was like, oh, yeah. I gotta, yep, we're friends. The second he started rapping, that happened with my homie Tyro the Epic. Like, the second I heard him, I was just like, oh yeah, we gotta work together. And when I met him at House of Blues, and we had a show together at House of Blues downtown, and we met and we didn't do another song until almost 3 years later.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works that way. Like ours was kind of instant, but then sometimes you develop that relationship where it's like we don't even talk about music, but then you kind of get into it and it's like, oh, okay, let's work. So it kind of works out that way. But top tier, upper echelon, if I could work with my dream matchups.
You
like, get 3.
Even if it's like, if they're famous or not famous, but up there.
Yeah, this is your dream matchup.
Okay.
You only get 3.
Alright, I would love to work with Jasmine Savoy. Now, Jasmine Savoy, she's kind of like Tessa Thompson. And she, like I said, she was also in a show called Yellow Jackets. You know what I'm saying? Well, Nino Brown's, I forget her name, Nino Brown's girl in New Jack City.
Yeah, New Jack.
Her.
Yeah.
She's in there too. And it's like, that's how I found out. I was like, oh snap. You testified against Nino Brown in court. And
that's how I remember you.
And then he fell down the flight of stairs and got shot. Anyways, she's dope because it's like she can play guitar and she has this kind of like not raspiness about her, but it's like almost there, not to the point where it's too overbearing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would love to work with Tyler the Creator. From where, like when I first heard of him, like I found out about Tyler the Creator through MTV, and at this one, I forget which night it was, they were showing the Woody Awards. Woody Awards were like MTV Music Video Awards, but it was more so like the lesser version, not the lesser, but like the artists that were coming out. I knew it was in 2011 though too. That's crazy because Mac Miller headlined when he only had the 2 mixtapes, Best Day Ever and Kids,
yeah.
And that's how long ago it was. And bro, like Odd Future closed the show out, and that's my first time ever hearing about them.
Yeah.
And they were wild, but they were like pretty known before that because there was mixtape before that, but I didn't know.
Right.
And the Testy Tyler Creator, I was like, who is this guy? And then Goblin comes out that same year.
Yeah.
But from Goblin to Call Me If You Get Lost, the man literally like skyrocketed as far as like he took his music ability, took his art and said, you know what, I want to create different worlds for this. Flower Boy is one of my favorite albums. Flower Boy is an awesome album.
Flower Boy is dope.
Yeah, Tyler Creator, I would love to collaborate with him, probably do something with that. I also love the fact that he incorporates strings in a lot of his music, like strings in like orchestra section.
Right.
My third one, I probably want to do something like the whole Wu-Tang. The whole Wu-Tang.
That was unexpected. Okay.
Logic did a song with the whole Wu-Tang before, so I was like, I want to do something.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Method
Man, yeah.
He was my favorite for sure.
RZA, Jizza, Master Killer, ODB, R.I.P.
Right.
Capadonna, Raekwon, Ghost. I know Killer Priest isn't in there, but he's U-God. You know what I'm saying? Like I want us all to be in a cipher, and I just want to go. I want to go last or something. Yeah.
Nice.
I want to even put Shaheem in there, like because he's I was so happy he got out of jail. I was like, yes, he's back. I was so happy. I was so happy he got out, and I was like,
just for the fun of it, I know he has nothing to do with he was after, but it's like I want to throw Red in there. Like, just why not? Throw him in there.
I'm a big Redman fan.
I know he's not Wu-Tang. Don't kill me in the comments, but still, man. Like,
I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. So here's the thing: the song got my mind made up on the All Eyes on Me album, which is a double disc.
Right.
Like, Pac gets out of prison, 1995, October of '95. Ooh, Pac's out of jail. Ooh, what we gonna do? What do you want to do first? First thing he does that one interview where he's like on the beach. I forgot the woman who interviewed him, but it was like that one interview where like he got out immediately, did it like the next day, whatever. Gets interviewed. Okay, what are you doing right now? I'm working on All Eyes on Me. Right. Makes the song, got my mind made up. It's him, it's Daz, it's Corrupt, it's Method Man, it's Redman. Now, at the time, the East Coast West Coast feud was happening.
Right.
And the crazy thing about that was, with that feud happening, you're like, all right, we're clicking here, we're clicking here.
Right.
Pac really loved them so much and disrespected them so much that he was like, just keep them on the album.
Right.
So the song got my man up is Method Man, Redman, Daz, and Corrupt. But you know the crazy thing about that is Inspector Deck was supposed to be on that song too. They cut his verse. Like Pac cut his verse, but because Inspector Deck, one of the awesomest MCs, anytime he writes a verse, it's amazing.
Right. Yeah, it's facts.
Even Pac also, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the song Walk in New York by Onyx, there's like a story that Fred Joe Starr was saying that they performed in the House of Blues or whatever, and Pac was in the crowd, like, I love this song! And this is at the height of the East Coast West Coast feud.
Right.
And Fred Joe and Sticky Fingers was both like, what you want us to do, man?
Right.
Pac was like, y'all better play that song. I love that song. And it was like, okay, you heard him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That just goes to show how powerful people can be here too. You know what I'm saying? Because even, like I said, Meth, and Red together, that was perfect.
Oh, that's a perfect duo for sure.
Yeah, Blackout is one of my favorite. Yeah, Blackout's awesome.
Yep.
How High is really a funny movie too. We don't talk about How High 2. I love Lil Yachty.
That never happened. That never happened.
Right.
It's like Toy Story 4. It never happened. It's just
not too much on Toy Story 4. It wasn't bad. That was actually good. Key and Peele.
It wasn't
Key and Peele. Yeah. Key and Peele.
Don't get me started on Fork Face. I mean Sporky or Forky. Don't get me.
I like this because Key and Peele are both in it too.
Fork Face. Don't get me started.
Right. It sounds too close to the other thing.
Right. So
I think
so that's a nice list. I like that. So I would say I'll start famous and work my way down.
Yeah.
So my top 3, I would want to work with Odyssey. I love the way Odyssey raps. He killed it on Tiny Desk, by the way. But normally when you're at that height, anybody that goes on Tiny Desk is amazing. Even artists I've never heard of, I've never seen a whack Tiny Desk. Like if this artist is on Tiny Desk, it's like they're killing it.
I found out about Superorganism through Tiny Desk, and they're on I was like, why do these people sound so familiar? So there's I forget which specific Sims game, because Sims has so many games, right?
Right.
I think it was the one that came out like 2019 or 2018, and they have a song called Prawn, and then they have another song called like Superstar, something like that.
Right.
Yo. The crazy thing is they play instruments, but their instruments, dude, they use a 1990s alarm clock static. Like when they put like an alarm clock, they plugged it in and went to the static and put it to the microphone. And put it to the microphone.
That's so dope.
They have a bucket of water that they shake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they use like different environmental like kind of deals. Like just anything, like they'll and they'll make something out of it.
Dolly Parton does that too.
Dope.
Dolly Parton, she'll flick her nails. She flicked her nails I forget what it was. She flicks her nails against something.
Right.
Dolly Parton. Yeah. And you said so. You got Odyssey. That's good. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I got Odyssey. Odyssey's super dope.
Yeah.
He just released an album, I think earlier this year too, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So Odyssey. Then I would go with. Of course, everybody knows my favorite rapper is Lupe Fiasco. I would have to get, like, if there's a way I can figure out how to finesse that, because his price is this, or he hooks up people that it's like he's only working with this artist. It's like, that's why you would think, like, how come he's never collabed with this person, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I already got the features I wanted to do. I work with Jill Scott, I work with Snoop, I work with, it's like,
I was in Food and Liquor yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, the first,
which
amazing.
But still, like, Drogas Waves and Tetsuo and Youth.
Oh,
those two. Gosh. Even though we talk about Food and Liquor, the Cool, like those are the classic albums.
Yeah, like those are the people they talk about.
Tetsuo and Youth and Drogas Waves are literally, in my opinion, they're masterpieces.
Yeah.
Like they're just it's just too good.
Yeah.
But so I got Odyssey, I got Lupe Fiasco, and I'm gonna throw a singer on the list. You know who I would love to perform with? Corinne Bailey Rae. Corinne Bailey Rae. I know it's out of left field.
Okay.
But I love her voice, her soothingness, her calm nature. Plays the guitar, plays the piano. And just is in a way. Because I was about to say Norah Jones. Norah Jones would have been one. But I had to pick between the two. I think Corinne would edge her. So I would say Corinne Bailey Rae for sure.
I thought you was going to go Guapole.
Ooh.
I really thought you was going to go there.
No.
That's crazy. But
yeah, that's another one. Like, that's why I say there's too many.
Yeah, it's true. But that's very good choice too. Like, Corinne Bailey Rae. Mm-hmm.
So Odyssey, Lupe, Corinne Bailey Rae.
You know what's crazy? Like, there's people even collab with people who aren't even musicians.
Right.
The song.
That girl that rapped on what's the name of that song on Mr. Morale? But
We Cry Together. That's an actress. That's an actress.
She's an actress.
Yeah.
She's not a rapper or a singer. Yeah. So when I found that out, she did so amazing on that song. I was like, she's not an artist.
That's the reason. That song specifically was the main reason I had to take a break from that album for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's like you had to start toxic relationships, sexual identity. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this was happening. Like infidelity. I'm like, he's really putting it out there, and it's like
throwing everything.
Oh, okay, because it just goes to show, your favorite superhero has flaws.
Yeah.
But I want y'all to know I'm not going without being accountable. Hey, I did this. It's not the best decision. I'm only telling you this so you have a good example of what not to do. You can be better. And wow,
the whole I'm not your savior. I find it even more difficult to love thy neighbor. Like all of that. It's just like let's see. 3 artists that I perform with locally. You know what's funny? I'm gonna throw his name on the list only because I have a song with him that I never released. But because so at the time it wasn't to an original beat. And so like when we started doing albums, it was like, you know what, we're gonna run it back, like do it to the original beat. Adrian Butler, like I would definitely do a song with Adrian Butler because his rap style, we've done cyphers together, we've done like all kinds of stuff, and then we had that one song, but I was just like, I don't want to put it out because it's not to the original beat. So I would say Adrian Butler, like I would definitely re-up with him. Sarabi, she is so dope. She literally gives me Erykah Badu vibes. Like she gives me that, the eccentric queen, like like energy goddess vibes like that. So I would love to do a song with her. Like matter of fact, I'm ensure that happens. Like we're definitely doing a song together. Like for sure. So Adrian Butler, Sarabi, and it's also funny because it always reminds me of Lion King. Sarabi. What's called Sarabi. So Adrian, Sarabi, one more, Jabella.
Okay.
Jabella is super dope. Talented singer. She I don't even know who to compare her to. Like, oh, she reminds me of this person or blah blah blah. Like, she just her voice is just so authentic and raw and unique. It's just like the topics that she talks about, the things that she breaks down, like, you know, going through kind of like how you say it, living life. Like the things that she talks about is just moving, you know. And so like her voice just carries. Like as soon as she opens her mouth, you're just like, oh, you're just captivated as soon as she starts singing. So I would definitely say Jabella would be one of those ones, like for sure. Like I gotta make that happen. But yeah, man. So that's my list, man. So you know, like it's interesting. The reason I ask is because, like I said, like everybody does top fives, but we never do like dream matches because we all have like our favorite artists that we listen to and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, you got 3 options. You can't perform with nobody else ever.
Right.
Who would it be? And that's tough because you know it narrows the pool down. You know. Yeah. But the thing about it is that when it comes to higher up artists on the totem pole, like the higher echelon artists, the reason they don't collab is because of label restrictions. Yeah. So it's not that they don't want to do a song with such and such. Oh, I love to do a song with blah 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 XYZ. It's just the labels are preventing it because Interscope don't want you to perform with somebody that's on Columbia or on Sony or on that, like you know, all these different things like Def Jam and blah blah blah. And it's just like, dude, like I just want to work with talented people. Like, you know, like I love how this person raps, I love how this person sings, I just want to do dope music together, you know. And so that's why I say, like, on a local level, it's like, dude, either everybody's on their own independent label or not on the label at all. So at that point, it's like, let's just work. Let's get stuff done before restrictions come into it, before, you know, outside forces say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, you know what? We don't have that issue. We don't have that problem. Like, so that's why I said, like, as soon as I heard you rap, I was like, oh yeah, we're friends. Like, like he's dope, I'm dope, let's do something. So
that is true. That is true. Yeah, how you said that as far as like collabing with different people, like in the Dallas scene who need more notoriety, or you know, we want to give them their flowers now. You know?
Right. Yeah, before it's too late. So before we wrap up the video, because I'm looking at my battery life. But we got a little bit of time. So before we wrap up the video, real quick, your album. What's going to be the name of it? Of course I know already. Of course you know, for the audience watching this, what's going to be the name of it? When do you have a projected time for it to come out? How many songs do we get? Like, you know, like just whatever you can tell us. Like, what's up with that?
So Aurora,
like Aurora Borealis?
Aurora. So what to expect? Expect me to be a little bit more comfortable in my own skin, you know, before, because the previous album, it was, I was comfy, everything was coming naturally. Right. I want to up the ante here. I want to try to do things out of my comfort zone and try to do things that you wouldn't expect. Just expect the unexpected. One. Be ready to play this for your friends in the cars, okay, when y'all are going out to just start some ruckus, okay? Be ready to just, when I perform this stuff, be ready to just party with me too, because I made these things for I want this to either be something y'all can just play, or when I perform this, you know it's gonna be something good. This is just me saying, this is my, like, you know, my love story to hip hop, you know what I'm saying? My continuation of a storyline. So there's that, and you know, so that's all I can really say. Y'all gotta wait till the album come out.
Okay, nice. Aurora coming soon. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Guyceritops. I'll put all of his links and his info like down in the description, and y'all can go down there and follow him, subscribe to him, you know, listen to his music, stream it, all that jazz. But once again, I am out the 2 representing Building Their Minds, the Hip Hop Workshop. We're inviting minds one rhyme at a time. And until the next video, I'll see you guys when I see you guys.
See you next time.
Peace. One love.